Cool. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. Good morning to those who have not been subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. We are going to bring up a really interesting topic, one of my favorite anime franchises of all time. Let's go ahead and talk about Dragon Ball Z. Now, you know me, I always come up with a lot of great ideas, especially critiques on works that I don't like and works that I even find favorable. And in this one, we're going to be talking about 10 ways that the Tree of Might could have been a better movie. Now, Tree of Might is probably one of my top 10 Dragon Ball Z films. I think it's an interesting story. I did like the action, and I thought the fights were pretty cool too. And it was pretty cool. We got some pretty cool villains out of it as well. But it had a number of issues, and not a lot of people, not everybody really liked it. So let's go ahead and get into this. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to these top 10 ways Tree of Might could have been a better movie. One, debuting at one, let's talk about Turles. Who the fuck is Turles? Where did he come from? And why in the hell did he come to Earth? The film never really addresses this. That's probably one of the biggest sins of the DBZ movie films is the fact that they lack any backstory, motivation, and personality for a good majority of the villains. Now, when it comes to later films such as Resurrection F, Battle of Gods, Brawly, yes, they have a better. They do a great job of just giving us personality to the villains, motivation, and perhaps even backstory. But in this one, you do not know what the hell Turles' motivations actually are. I guess it comes off as, Saiyans are like just inherently evil or inherently aggressive. So they're just going to say, hey, this is the evil version of Goku, and it's just saying what Goku would have turned out to be had he not, bumped his head as a kid, which is fine and dandy and everything. But come on, let's just be real. Who the hell is Turles? Like, they never say, was he a part? Could you see him wearing the Frieza Force armor? Was he a part of the Frieza Force? Is he a refugee from planet Vegeta when it was exploded? What is his relation to perhaps the Frieza? What is his motivation? Like, this movie lacks that in spades. That's probably one of the biggest sins of this film. So the film lacks any kind of insight into the character of Turles. You don't even really get like outside of like him just getting to being trying to be all powerful. Is he trying to topple the Frieza Force? Is he trying to recruit to have his own Turles Force? Just the film just lacks motivation on the main antagonist of the film. Now, for the second point, why in the hell is Turles not depicted as a relative of Goku? And if you go and you look up this character, they say he's all like he's a low class Saiyan, so that's why it looks like Goku. And I'm like, that does not make any fucking sense. And he's a low class Saiyan, and that's why he looks like Goku. That's dumb. His brother doesn't even look like him. So how can some Saiyan that's not even related to him look like him? Like, who the fuck thinks this shit up? The movie would have benefited a hell of a lot more had it been either Goku's brother, perhaps twin brother, half brother, or even perhaps his cousin or his uncle, even. Like, just some family ties that would make fucking sense for him to be a relative of Goku. It does not make any sense for him to just look like Goku and just not be related to him. It doesn't. There's literally no way in the fucking world that this can happen. Uh, and also it would give the benefits would have greatly outweighed what we got because there would have been a bit more of a personal relationship between these two characters. We could have got a bit more insight into perhaps Bardock, his mother, or his relationship with Raditz. It would have been even pretty cool if Turles had brought up Raditz. You're like, yo, you killed my nephew. You killed my brother. That would make a lot more fucking sense. And me personally, I would even go as far as just say, go ahead and just make him Bardock's brother, so that way it could be Goku's uncle. That would make it even more sense because he would be older. He would have a bit more experience in battle, and I think, and it would come off a bit more of an older cat talking to a younger cat. So there's a lot of ways that they could have flipped that, but it would have made a hell of a lot more sense for Turles to be Goku's relative and not some random Saiyan. Now, for the third point, and another reason, another problem that the rest of these DBZ films have is Who are Turles men and why do they follow him? What are their motivations? What are their relationships like? We do not get to really see that in this film. We don't see any of these characters bickering. We don't have any of these characters sitting here just telling what the motivation is. You never hear not one moment where one character is like, hey, you're gonna get the tree of might, eat the fruit from the tree to take over the universe, or to topple Frieza, get revenge for the Saiyans, or who done it and ran. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It would just make some more sense for us to get some insight into who these characters are. You know what I'm saying? What type of stuff do they like doing? Are they just bloodthirsty for the sake of being bloodthirsty? Where the fuck did they come from? How the hell did he recruit them? What is his overall relationship to these characters? And this movie, again, lacks that. And like I said, one of the biggest problems again with the DBZ films is the lack of fleshing out their villains, fleshing out the you know what I'm saying, fleshing out the henchmen as well. Although I will admit, Dead Zone before the newer movies, Dead Zone probably had the best fleshed out villain and henchman, because at least you did get some moments seeing it from their perspective and how they interacted in a bit. So that was done better by far. But as I was saying, there is literally no insight into any of these characters, and it just fucking is atrocious because they seem like pretty interesting characters. So you would like to see a bit more between them. Also, uh, the Tree of Might itself. I don't mind that the Tree of Might. Oh, excuse me, guys. I always know I'm shooting in the morning, so I just got up. So of course I'm still tired. But anyways, I'm sorry about that. I would like to see the tree gradually grow, and yes, you do get that in the film, but we don't get a sense of like time. Like I would have liked to seen this tree, the film be a bit more depth with the story, where everything is dying off gradually over time, not seemingly in like one day. Like I would like to see this tree grow, and like I guess like all of this happening over a course of months. So that way you could have seen more of the effects. It would have gave a bit more emotional depth to the story that the world is actually dying, and not just they playing it and then it just grows like in a day. Like I know that doesn't really make any sense. It would have made more sense to let it grow over time, or even this, let it been growing. Like they've been visited Earth a long time ago, planted the seed, left, and then now the seed's about to spontaneously grow after having been dormant for years and years and years. Like that would even made more sense. But to just plant the seed just like right here and then like a day, like a couple hours later, not even an hour. You know what I'm saying? The thing just grows and just starts starting the planet. No, it would have been a bit. It should have been a bit more of a gradual thing, so that way when it spontaneously like grew or something like that, you could actually see like perhaps earthquakes, you know what I'm saying, tsunamis, just all the overall effects of such a massive object being, on the planet. So I think the film would have benefited better had they taken the time out to do a better job with the growth of the tree of might itself. And of course, everybody agrees with number six, which is the Z Fighter should have put up a better damn fight. One of the best moments in this film that outweighs a good majority of the other movies is the fact you get to see the Z Fighters take on the henchmen of the bad guy. And that's what you want to see from Dragon Ball Z. You want to see all of your fighters, all of these great characters to take on these different villains and beat them up, or if not, just put up a good fight. And for like maybe 20 seconds, we get that. We get an awesome fight, but the problem is the film does not fulfill its promise of entertaining us with these characters, bringing these characters back for the fight. Um, and the thing about it is, you see it, you just see how awesome the fight is. You want to see, and what makes it even better is you want to see how these new guys' abilities go against the abilities of our favorite heroes. I mean, look at the one part where Krillin threw his Destructo Disc, and then the big dude ends up throwing his version of the Destructo Disc. Like, you want to see more of those abilities work against each other. You saw Tien and Chaozu fighting those the twin guys. You know what I'm saying? That would have been pretty cool. That way you can see team tactics from both sides. We don't really ever get to see Tien and Chaozu just fight together. Hell, you barely see Chaozu fight, but that was great to see that just little tidbit of him just trying at least. You know what I'm saying? And what else? Who was of course Yamcha. We got the awesome ass rapid punch sequence with Yamcha and the robot guy. Like that would have been pretty cool. Have we seen an extended version of that? More of Yamcha, because Yamcha, let's be real. Whoever Akira Toriyama does not give a fuck about Yamcha. He does not give a fuck about Krillin, especially Yamcha. But you at least could have gave my boy Yamcha that moment of him just being badass. And that's one thing I like about Yamcha. Even though he might be weak, you always get a badass sequence from this dude. Even though he might be weak, he gets a fucking awesome ass sequence from this character. So I think it was just totally unjust how, you know, we got all of these great characters in this movie and they don't do anything. They don't get the opportunity to show their skills. Hell, they don't even get a chance to even show new skills they developed, or you know, more advanced skills of what they've been doing. So I think it was just that right there is a big ass fucking sin. At this point, I'm like, well, possibly they probably shouldn't even been in the damn movie. But then again, this is a worldwide event. They should be in the movie. So if you're going to include these characters like this, why not just have them take care of fight? And the entire fight should have been they handle the henchmen and Goku handles Turles. Instead of they handle the henchmen, they get beat up, Goku steps in, wipes them all out in like a second, and then fights Turles. I'm like, no, that's fucking stupid. So, you know, there is a common trend among the DBZ films and even in the show where everything's built around Goku. Goku has to be the one to beat the villains, and that right there lacks any kind of character development for any of the other characters as well as Goku, because he has to be the one to beat everyone. I don't mind him beating Turles, but the fact that he up and just kick the henchman's ass in like 10 seconds was just slapping the face to all the other great characters in the series. They would have gave something to Piccolo something to do, Gohan something to do, Krillin, Yamcha, Chaozu, Tien, like it would have gave them all something to do. So that is probably one of the biggest sins as well. Also, going back to what I had said about Turles being a relative of Goku, like I said, number 7 is it would have been had they done number 2 and made him a relative, that it would have been a more personal battle between these two characters, especially considering Bardock as well as Raditz. We could have got a bit of insight and backstory for how Turles could have potentially interacted with Bardock. Maybe they were best friend brothers. Maybe they were rivals. That would have just given more depth to the character of Bardock as well. Maybe Raditz looked up to Turles and maybe not to Bardock so much. Maybe he respected his father, but really enjoyed Turles, but perhaps how brutal he was as a Saiyan warrior. You know what I'm saying? And that's, like I said, it's just a completely missed opportunity that I feel is it's really messed up. It's just a really big misstep on this one. Like they should have been relative. There is so much emotional depth that could have been explored. And let's just be honest. Despite everything that's been happening with Dragon Ball Z, there is literally hardly any emotional depth for the character of Goku. Let's just be real. What emotional shit that has Goku had to actually deal with? Really, the only time you ever seen Goku have any emotional breakdown or anything like that is when Krillin died by Frieza's head. That's about it. So I think this could have been a better way to address that, and also it would have been a good idea. So that way, at least at one point in the fucking series, Goku would be like, I never thought about who my actual dad is. So this could have been a good way to address that as well. Down to number 8. I think that in the movie fucking sucks at this too as well. Show how the fruit works and its effects. Now I just got through playing Xenoverse 2, and Turles is one of the main antagonists in the film. But when you see him eat the fruit from the Tree of Might, he grows his eyes are glowing red, and he has this dark black aura that forms around him. And I think that's actually pretty fucking awesome. But what happens in the movie? The character gets slightly bulkier, in a boost scene, but you don't see him like actually like bigger like that. So they didn't really do shit in the movie. Yeah, Turles might have been a bit more powerful. Yeah, Turles might have been a bit more faster, but the film doesn't give us enough time to actually see a good range of Turles' abilities to compare that. So when he does eat the tree, eat the fruit or whatever, it doesn't seem like like nothing happened. It didn't seem like shit happened. So it was very disappointing. There is even one sequence where Turles is fighting Piccolo, if you could call it a fight, and he just easily beats Piccolo. And it's like, well, wouldn't it make more sense for Piccolo to put up quite a good fight, as he is possibly at this? In fact, at this point, he's the second strongest. So he should have been able to put up more of a fight against Turles, and perhaps Turles could have ate a piece of the fruit then and beat up Piccolo after that. Then I'd be like, okay, cool, that makes more sense. But the film does not show what the fuck the damn fruit does in the slightest. It doesn't do shit. For all we know, he just ate the fruit because it tasted good, and it was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and just take this fight seriously. Because, like I said, we don't really get a good sense of his fighting prowess before he eats a damn fruit. You know what I mean? So that the fruit, like I said, should just did what Xenoverse 2 did. You eat the fruit, your eyes glow red, you turn to black aura. That's something. I could deal with that. Fuck, it's like going Super Saiyan. How can you go Super Saiyan if you don't transform in some type of way or have some type of thing? What happens when you go to Super Saiyan to make it look like you're powered up? Your hair goes blonde, you get a pink, a golden aura. Okay, same thing should have been here. Your eyes turn red, you have a black aura or something. But damn. Okay, let's go down to number 9. Now, number 9 is, I think, is something that would have helped a lot because it would have gave the film more than just one big ass fight. It would have gave the film a bit more substance, and that is to have Bulma and friends trying to destroy the tree. That's one thing I wish they could have worked on a bit. Was I didn't want Goku to destroy the tree. I mean, it was kind of cool with how he did it and everything, but it would have made more sense to me as if while everybody's having this big ass fight and everything, we have some of our supporting characters doing something as well. You see at the beginning of the film, Krillin, Gohan, Oolong. I'm not sure Puar's in the movie. Puar's in the movie, but and Oolong. They're all camping. This fire breaks out. They summon the dragon and everything, but I would have said this. I would have liked there to been the dragon shouldn't have been summoned at the beginning of the movie. The dragon should have been summoned at the end of the movie. That's how they should have possibly gotten rid of the Tree of Might. And like you know what I'm saying, had them trying to fight had them trying to find the Dragon Balls or something, and while they're looking for the Dragon Balls, have the henchmen like trying to attack them, and the whole time the Z fighters are covering them and trying to protect them while these guys find the, you know what I'm saying, the Dragon Balls. I think that would have given again more depth to the story, more, you know what I'm saying, with the stakes being so big, you want to see all of your characters stepping in to try to help. And when was the last time you got our characters like this in the movies? I mean, you had them in The World's Strongest. We had a lot of the characters, and they were all doing things. Even though at the same time they you know what I'm saying, they were doing stuff, it wasn't really conducive to helping them beat the bad guy like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think it would have benefited a hell of a lot. We had all of these characters, Roshi, Bulma, Oolong, Puar. They're trying to find the Dragon Balls with all of this under all of this tree, under, you know, the tree roots and shit and branches and all that. They're trying to find the Dragon Balls, and the Z Fighters perhaps are trying to protect them, while the henchmen are trying to kill them. So I think that would have worked out a bit better, and also given more characters something to do, which again is something that the rest of the series has an exceptionally bad time showcasing. Like we have all these great supporting characters, and in the face of all this world and madness, they're not doing a fucking thing. It's like they don't even know. Okay, and also number 10 is something I think the series needs to do a bit more as a whole, is to give us some insight into the Z Fighters' lives. them going camping was a really great moment because we got to see these characters again coming together, having fun. You know what I'm saying? The old Dragon Ball gang doing their thing. But what the hell was Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, and Piccolo doing? Why weren't uh, we notified of the things that they were doing? What are their day-to-day lives are? I think the film would have also benefited had we seen that they were doing something with their lives, whether it's farming, whether it's working, whether it was having fun, whether it's playing sports, whether they were training, just something that's going on in their lives that would have just remind us that these characters have depth. They have lives. They have stuff going on for themselves right outside of just fighting again, and it would help to show what the stakes are for those characters. Like if Krillin has a family, which you see later on, Krillin has a family, and you see a scene with his family, then you know Krillin is helping not only to defend the planet but also his family. You know, so there is a serious lack of insight into the Z Fighters' lives, and I wish that the film also address that and give us, you know, what I'm saying, a bit more fleshing out these supporting characters. Like I said, those that were actually in the camping, I liked. I thought it was actually a great idea. And again, it's great seeing these characters together again, especially after all the adventures they've been in Dragon Ball, and even the ones we come to see in Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super. So that right there, guys, are my top 10 ways that the trio might could have been a better movie. Sorry if it seemed like I was rambling, but I just wanted to get my point across on this, and I'm quite sure a good majority of you guys actually would agree with me on a lot of these points that we have right here. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. And also, guys, do not forget to comment. Let me know some other things that we could have explored as well in this movie that would have made it a better movie. What points did you not agree with, and what points did you agree with? And we'll definitely catch you guys later.